This One's Wife. Unhinged. Like Meghan. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Many people look at This One's Wife and form the conclusion that she is unhinged, that she's a Fruit Loop, that she's batshit crazy. This is a not unreasonable response as a consequence of the many strange things that she has engaged in. For instance, her ability to always find the camera, the strange batting of the eyelashes that she engages in, the chopping of the air with her oversized man hands like a pissed-up ninja, the inability to cause anything to reach a point of conclusion, the me attitude, the way that she presents things which don't go anywhere, the presentation of the children, who are only invariably seen from the back of their heads. And there's plenty more examples that I'm sure that you can think of that you would categorize as items that make you believe that she's batshit crazy. For instance, the Billie Eilish video where she behaved like she was a teenager, and then the appearing from the bushes to look at the ducks with that ridiculous look on her face as if to say, "Oh, look at that. She looks mental." You, as educated viewers of this channel, understand that while she may well appear as somebody that is batshit crazy and unhinged, what you're actually witnessing is her narcissism. Because she's a mid-range type A narcissist, her narcissism is not so evolved as to enable her to fit in to the degree that is required for someone that is so scrutinized and oversaturated as This One's Wife. The result is, there are instances, as a consequence of the failure of having no emotional empathy and misfiring cognitive empathy, whereby she presents in a way which is not congruous with the situation that she finds herself in. This is why she says things which seem strange, why she behaves in a manner which doesn't really fit with the context of the situation, why she comes across as seeing like a bit of a loon. The fact is, it's down to her narcissism. She lacks the emotional empathy and intelligence to know precisely how to behave in certain situations, so her narcissism goes for the best approximation of that. Unfortunately, it isn't as evolved as it ought to be, and she's seen so many times from pictures and from being filmed and reported on that these glitches get seen more often than they might do for another narcissist. And the result, she looks unhinged. The outcome, you know, that is because of her narcissism. But it's also the case that many of her fans are viewed as unhinged. To start with, you might suggest they're a bit unhinged for wanting to follow such an awful human being as This One's Wife. Of course, that's a matter of perspective. You might also think they're somewhat unhinged in giving their time to someone like This One's Wife who wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire. Furthermore, their reactions to their involvement with This One's Wife seem entirely disproportionate. And, well, let's have a look at some footage in relation to a fan of This One's Wife that brings to mind the suggestion that she's just as unhinged as This One's Wife. Take a look at this.
Look at the size of this baby. I don't even see anything yet. The wrapping paper. You must acknowledge little sprig of lavender. You know what I'm gonna do with that? You know what I'm gonna do with that? What I'm gonna do with that? I'm gonna drop it. I ripped it. It's okay. Oh god. Oh, it's upside down. Ooh, sorry. Hold on. Hold on. Stop it. Stop! Gumdrop cookies. Little recipe card. No. No! This is real time. I don't know what they say yet. With love, Meghan. I only have pies for you, Megan. You're so silly. 2 is better than 1. Butter! Oh, it's 2 is better than 1. Oh my god, stop. And then let us remain calm. Shortbread cookie mix. Apricot spread. And the spoon. I can already tell you this is the nicest thing I've ever owned. And I haven't even opened it, and I don't even know what it is. I love this so much. Keep going. Keep going. Like in life? Or in the box? I'm out of hands. Oh god. Keep going. Keep going. What? Stop. Stop. What do I even say? Okay.
Oh dear. Yes, from the starting jig through to the repeated little stop and no and the screams to camera, this is an over-the-top reaction of one of this one's wife's fangirls. The fact that she takes the sprig of lavender that is the packaging, plain packaging. I thought this one's wife was obsessed with packaging, so it just comes wrapped in what looks like fish and chip paper. Nevertheless, she takes the sprig of lavender and demonstrating that she struggles to think for herself, this young lady pops it in an as-ever jar. It looks preposterous, but she's just doing what her saint has instructed her to do. She explains, "This is the nicest thing I've ever owned and I haven't even opened it," which demonstrates the ridiculousness of the comment and the individual. And furthermore, when she opens it, it's just some tat from Our Place, an organisation that doesn't have particularly good views with regard to its products and what are clearly items that have been left over from when this one's wife was hawking those goods at the LA wildfires at the beginning of the year. She continues, "I love this so much," and then reads, "Keep going." She's a little bit confused. Do you mean as in like in life? Oh, it then becomes clear. It's a reference to keep going through the packaging. What? Stop. And then basically appears that she's on the cusp of a breakdown because she's received a tray. Oh dear. Oh dear, indeed. The unboxing of another hand-delivered set of items from this one's wife, which comprises of shitty cooking mix, spoon, wooden spoon, of course, the irony completely lost, and apricot spread, along with some leftovers from Our Place. Oh, and let us not forget these. Yes, some shitty napkins that look like they have the consistency of toilet paper. They are near transparent. Imagine trying to mop something up with those. They'd disintegrate, although perhaps that's a good thing. Once again, they utilise the foligraphy of this one's wife with her death sives and over-elaborate swirls. The first one appears to read, "I only have piss for you." Oh, well, maybe my suggestion that she wouldn't piss on these people if they were burning is incorrect. I think it's meant to read pies, but it took me a little while to ascertain that from looking at what has been written. And 2 is butter, I think it's meant to say, than 1. Hilarious. And the letters remain calm, which, if I remember correctly, appeared on a baseball cap that this one's wife was wearing when she announced part 2 of season 1, as if it was season 2. Yes, shitty napkins. How marvellous. And yet, this individual is over the moon to have received them. Now, you're looking at this thinking, yeah, typical this one's wife supporter, unhinged, in relation to the receipt of some shitty items of merchandise. But who is she? Well, this young lady is Emily Sorrells. She was an individual who ran a fan site for this one's wife. And if you remember, she was one of the individuals that was invited to the Netflix premiere in relation to With Love Meghan and received a monogram bottle of Tianello. And she is also the same individual who, when this one's wife was doing an interview for Suits, this one's wife got up to go and give her a hug. So she's an absolute fangirl of this one's wife. Now that's fair enough. It's her life. If she wishes to choose to waste her time with this narcissist, then so be it. She'd also written some time ago, like most other teenage girls, my worst enemy lived between my own two ears. I craved community, but didn't have the sense of self to seek it out. This one's wife's blog, The Tig, was the first time that changed for me. I firmly believe that The Tig changed the trajectory of my life. Well, that's her opinion and she's entitled to it, although one does have to say that if a blog, which is written by a vacuous narcissist about places she may or may not have gone to, interviewing people she may or may not actually know, and talking about clothing and food, changes the trajectory of your life, oh dear. She continued by writing, this one's wife words felt like secret keys to understanding the universe. Fuck me, you are simple. Her big sister-esque guidance. This one's wife doesn't offer any guidance. She thinks she does. What she offers you is condescending word salad. Her big sister-esque guidance, combined with the community the site connected me to, gave me a sense of self-worth that was entirely foreign to me. Within the TIG's first few years, that audience of one transformed into an international friend group of young people united by this one's wife's impact. We all connected on Twitter and Instagram. We lived on different continents, communicated across a huge range of time zones, and had very diverse day-to-day lives. But we all longed for the love we sent one another from afar. We have lovingly named our friend group the Tiglets. Now, attempting to put aside my natural cynicism and understand an alternative perspective, you might suggest, well, they're fans of this one's wife. It makes them happy. So what? They're not really hurting anybody. Possibly. But what it does point to is the fact that when you looked at those individuals who turned up at the premiere, and as I pointed out at the time, it was all white young women. People that are impressionable. People who I would suspect haven't really experienced any hardship in life, but think that they have. This is the group that this one's wife exploits. Individuals who don't have much in the way of critical thinking, don't realise that she's a narcissist, and don't realise that all she does is exploit them. Imagine you call yourself the group the Tiglets, and you basically have an Instagram account that's simply dedicated to this one's wife. One can understand that you might have an Instagram account or some kind of social media platform dedicated to somebody that actually does things, creates brilliant music, talking about video games, whatever it might be. But the fact that you have a site that's dedicated to talking about a banal individual who's also a very unpleasant person demonstrates that the inability to recognise what she is, the inability to recognise the way that she treats people, and the fact that this lady, Emily Sorrells, and the others like her, fail to understand that they're being exploited, speaks volumes. Furthermore, to have such a reaction as she has shown in the video, which she then posts to social media, is demonstrative of the idiocy of many of her supporters who appear to be easily thrilled by the receipt of tat. And it is tat. Let's make no bones about it. a shitty cookie mix, a wooden spoon, and an apricot spread. They're hardly must-have items. I appreciate that they're coming from her hero, but at the end of the day, to behave like that when you're a grown woman is quite frankly ridiculous. But do you know what? It's the type of behaviour that this one's wife would engage in. Now, I'm not suggesting for a moment that Emily Sorrells is a narcissist, not at all. But it is that fangirling teen behaviour that this one's wife engages in so often, despite the fact that she's a woman in her 40s, whereby she thinks that she aligns with younger women, such as this one. All told, it just presents an unhinged image, and it's little surprise that someone as loopy and nuts as she presents through her narcissism as this one's wife attracts individuals and reactions such as this one. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for watching.